Why is it so important to break through and not stay stuck in your life? Why is it important for you to change things that are not working, whether it's in your health or your relationships or your career or your peers or what's happening in any? Why do you need to change now and not take days, months, and years to change? I'm sure that there is something in everybody's life that needs to change. If you think about it right now, go back to your health. You might have to lose some weight, or you may need to start paying some attention to what you're eating, or you're not able to resist certain foods, or you're not able to exercise. That's something you need to change. In relationships, many a times we're putting up with things that we should not. Your ability to say no or not being able to be assertive in your relationships, there is something that needs to change in every area. And why should you do it right now? Have you ever heard of the story of a fly? Right now, all of us have seen that during the monsoon, a lot of small insects like the fly, they kind of fall dead inside the windowsill. Have you asked yourself why? And do you know that flies literally hit themselves to death? Did you know that? So what really happens is that the fly is trying to enter. It sees light and it wants to go towards the light, but it doesn't understand the concept of the glass. So it keeps hitting itself and hitting itself and hitting itself continuously because it wants to break through, it wants to change, it wants to go towards the light. But what really happens is its energy level just keeps dropping and it becomes hopeless and its body gives up and finally it perishes away. And this is exactly what happens to people as well, believe it or not. When we realize that we need to change in some area of our life, we try and we try and we try and we try. And many a times what we try doesn't work. And then we start feeling hopeless and we start feeling like this is not going to work. So and so is not going to change, or I am not going to change. This is difficult. And our energy meter from green goes down to orange and then red. And one day we just stop trying to change. We stop trying to go to the next level or powerfully catapult. Or we put it off to another time, that I'll do it next year, I'll do it another time. This is not the right time. It's either too early or it's too late, or you're too young or you're too old, or this is not the right time to do what's important. But the reality is that the time to break through is now, this very instant. So before we move on, I would want you to comment in the comment section, which area of your life do you want to grow in? Which area of your life do you feel that I need to break through certain things and I need to go to the next level? Please put that in the comment section so I know what we are talking about here, right? What do I need to explain based on what you want, right? Now, secondly, let us go on to the 5 steps for transformation. Because the reason why most people bang their head against the wall and not get results is because they don't really know how to transform. They do not know the process of breaking through, of changing. And if you don't know the process, it's very likely that you're going to give up at some point, right? So the first step towards breaking through. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 steps to break through anything where you feel stuck, any area where you feel stuck, right? First step is to become aware. Now, you might say, that's very simple. Awareness? Yes, awareness. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever played a jigsaw puzzle? Have you ever put a jigsaw puzzle together? And if you have, you will know that one of the first things that you would do to start putting the pieces together is that you start flipping the parts that are upside down, right? You got to start seeing all the pieces. You got to see the entire layout before you can start putting the pieces together. And that's exactly how it works in our life as well. Being a transformation coach, being an NLP master trainer, I have personally coached hundreds of people. I have worked with thousands of people to transform their life. And I have seen so many of my clients being in a hurry to change. They want to do it now. They want to transform now. But it's a step-by-step process. The first step is figure out what is really happening in your life. If you're not able to figure out what's happening in your life, how you might end up taking a wrong decision. How many people have just put down their papers and gone to their boss and say, I resign, before they have really thought about how they are going to make this happen? How many people have walked out of relationships and then regretted that, I wish I had given this more thought, right? Being aware of what is really happening gives you the power to make the right decision. So first thing would be, in NLP we have strategies like metacognition, mental strategies, submodalities, things that allow you to become more aware about yourself, about your emotions, about your thoughts, about your environment, about your beliefs, about your behavior, about every single layer and aspect of yourself. Once you're aware of these things, once you know who you really are and what you really want, that is when you will be able to really move to the next level, which is the next step, which is to get direction. Get direction. Once you're aware of what you want, don't start taking action right away. Become aware of what do you really want, or where do you really want to go. Again, sounds like a very simple question, but not too many people ask this. Most people know what they don't want. Do you know that? Most people are aware of, I don't want to be treated like this. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to feel insecure. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be poor. I don't, so many I don'ts. But they really have never thought, if this is what I don't want, what do I really want instead? What kind of a life do you want to live? What kind of a relationship do you want? What kind of health and vitality do you want to enjoy? So in NLP, we call this outcome orientation, and there are certain presuppositions and attitudes that are embedded within our subconscious that allows us to be constantly aware of where we are going and what we really want, and align all our actions towards it. So first step, being aware of every aspect of yourself, knowing crystal clear what's really happening. Two, becoming aware of what you really want. And the third step would be to actually change or transform yourself. Please remember, your life, everything that happens in your life is an output of who you are as a person. Your feelings, your emotions, your reactions, your attitudes, your likes and dislikes, your rules, your fears, these determine your results. So just simply going out there when you are not feeling, you're aware, you've got certain habits that you need to break through. You know there are certain emotions that are holding you back. Maybe you feel depressed, or you feel low, or you feel anxious, or you feel insecure, or maybe you have social anxiety, or you're just not motivated to take action. And in this state, even only awareness is not enough. You also need to transform from within. I've seen a lot of people who take action. They take a lot of action, but it's at a superficial level. They try to make things happen, they try to be confident, or they try to be motivated, and this kind of superficial action only works for a short period of time, because it's like fighting against the tide, right? But if you want to make the process of change seamless, you got to transform yourself. You got to become the kind of person who does all these things naturally, who does not eat that cake, who exercises every day seamlessly, who knows how to influence others. So that, does that make sense to you? So the third step would be to actually use certain strategies or put yourself through processes which are going to help you rewire, program yourself in a way that you become the kind of person who will make things happen. Hey folks, I can see a lot of people are joined in. So if you're enjoying this video, please show your love by clicking the like button. And if you are new to my channel, Shenoy Manek, please subscribe to Shenoy Manek, so that you can get access to not just the 100 plus videos that I have put on NLP and other transformative sciences, but also certain resources that I am going to be preparing, that I will be sending your way, right? So ensure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, Shenoy Manek. Okay, what's the next step? You became aware, you got the direction, you changed yourself from within. The next step is to have the right tools and techniques and strategies so that you can make things happen. So you have changed, but what about the external world? How are you going to influence others? How are you going to read and calibrate others? How are you going to sell your business or your concept? How are you going to influence your spouse or your children to change? How are you going to stay on track, right? So there are hundreds of tools and techniques and strategies today in NLP that you can learn so that it becomes easy. What do tools do? Tools just make things easy, isn't it? We all have tools. We have a scissor or a hammer or a knife or a pen. Everything is a tool. And what tools do is they just make our life easier. It makes things seamless. right? If you do not have tools, you tend to take longer, it gets frustrating, and then most often than not, people tend to give up when they're not able to get results. But if you have the tools, you just make it faster, your time is saved and your effort is saved and your energy is saved. So it's important for you to learn certain tools with which not only can you manage yourself and your state and keep yourself motivated long term, so that you're taking action and getting things done, but also interpersonal tools to influence others and get results in your workplace or in your business or in any area of your life, right? So the next step, after you have learned how to use these tools, techniques, and strategies, would be to give yourself a support system. Have you ever noticed that if, let's say, you want to exercise and you're alone, you don't feel that motivated, isn't it? Because it's you against you. I mean, you don't see what others are doing. You don't have somebody to motivate you, somebody to watch, isn't it? So if you have a support system, a community, you, a friend or a coach or a mentor or a community of people who meet every now and then, and you become a part of a community which is going to support you, you can watch other people's breakthroughs, you can get it positively influenced by others, you can see how others are using cutting edge tools and strategies to transform their life, to transform other people's lives. When you make yourself a part of this kind of community, that's when your transformation is complete, right? Because for most people, they do the first 2 or 3 steps and then they regress. They do the first two, again they regress. They keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, never really powerfully going to the next level. For that to happen, you got to do these entire 5 steps, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of breakthrough you're looking for, change you're looking for, you have to go through these steps if you want it to be long lasting and if you want it to be powerful. So I have outlined the steps of transformation that I use in my life transformation workshop that I use with my clients, and I've just given them to you right now. And you can go ahead and start journaling and using these in your life. My YouTube channel is full of NLP techniques. You can use those to make certain changes within yourself. But please remember, I always tell people, only techniques, only learning a few techniques is going to fix a few things for you, but it's not going to take your life to the next level. And if you're somebody who believes in investing in yourself and you believe that you really deserve to, your time and your life is worth it, and you don't want to be taking decades to go to the next level, and you want to do it faster in a matter of months or in a year's time, you got to put yourself through powerful processes. So I do a life transformation workshop known as NLP Practitioner Workshop. And the great part about it is every step I have mentioned over here, we do this and you go through an immersive workshop where you're not just learning NLP and its strategies, you're actually going through every one of these steps inside out, and you're becoming that kind of a person, and you have that support system that's going to help you profoundly change your life and go to the next level. So get in touch with my team if you are somebody who believes in investing in yourself, believes in going to the next level. I would love to train you, coach you, and make you a part of my community as well. And do follow me on Instagram also, Seema Shenoy Manek NLP. You'll get to know behind the scenes what's happening, how people's lives are changing, their breakthroughs, what they have to say, new strategies. So follow me on Instagram for that. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. Do join me in all my different platforms, and I'm going to be seeing you all very soon in another video. Thank you, and bye-bye, everybody.